So I better tell you stories about the SWAT Kats that are interesting. One thing that I really loved at working with Tremblays is they're very imaginative artists, and Christian draws extremely well. Like, love his stuff. I loved it from the moment I saw it, and it was like, here's a show you're working on. So
and you were talking about a story.
Oh, well, I was saying what they would do, for example, was they would, and that's how they sold the show with this gorgeous artwork. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, I'd love to work on this. Looks like a comic book. It looks like anime. It looks real kinetic and exciting and edgy, and just really fun. It looks fun. Looks like to me Ninja Turtles, but a lot more appealing. In a way, and I think if we went head to head with Ninja Turtles, we would have kicked its butt. But we were never given.
Really?
But I don't.
Confidence.
But I don't think we were ever really. It ever got the fair shake and the merchandise and the time slot and things. But I think it's a better show.
The writing was good.
Well, thank you.
Very comparable.
Thank you. So that being said, what we do during the show itself is Tremblays would show up, and they would have a big board with artwork on it, and it would just be full of missiles. Here's a match head missile, here's a buzzsaw missile, here's a this and that, scramble, all these things. And they would just put them there and just hand it off to us. And then I would sit down as a writer and go, okay, I can use that one, that one, that one, that one. And I would incorporate their ideas into the show.
A lot of that to accommodate network guidelines for violence and
No, because the weapons tended to be like nets and things that would disable, or if we use hard weapons, they'd be against like buildings or metal objects or robots or things.
I was fascinated by the sound effects. They were always like laser beams.
Yeah. We had nice. Well, that was it was a holdover from but not just that sort of thing. There was an episode of Mad Cat that I didn't write, Glenn wrote, but they did a drawing of the character, and then him turning into all these things, all these gags, because he was kind of magical. And they would just like, here's Mad Cat as a building, here's Mad Cat as a car, here's Mad Cat, da-da-da. And they just hand that to Glenn, and he would write a story. He'd write a whole script using every single image on it, using the villain, da-da-da. So it's, tremendously helpful to just be handed stuff. I never had that advantage because Glenn was the head writer, so he would kind of get assignments, and I was a freelancer, so I'd pitch. I said, I have a Dr. Viper story, and here it is. And they went, oh yeah, that's a good one. We haven't done that one. And so I did 6. I did 2 Metallicats, which are my personal favorites of my stuff. Although I like some of Glenn's every bit as much as mine. But I did two Metallicats episodes, 1 Dr. Viper episode, an original character called Shard that I came up with, original character called Mutilor, who was a space alien guy, and then Turmoil, who was a girl, kind of a girl general with an army of girl pilots, which is a little bit from Goldfinger, because Goldfinger, there was a flying circus where the villain Pussy Galore had all these girl pilots, and I thought, oh yeah, we need to do a bunch of girl pilots. So that's sort of the inspiration for that, and also it has the helicarrier in it. His terminal had a helicarrier, which I thought got from the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. comic in the 60s, and now of course everyone knows the helicarrier because in the movies. Now it's kind of in Captain America they really used it. But I will say that we did episode called When Strikes Mutilor, and I swear to God that those guys, Emmerich and Devlin, must have seen that before they did Independence Day, because it's like the cartoon version of Independence Day, but many years before. The giant UFO comes to steal our resources and goes over the beach and blocks the sky, and here's the giant reset. And then at one point there was dogfighting, and one of their ships crashes, and then we get in that ship and go and attack the big ship. That's all out of When Strikes Mutilor. So Dave Estoy, the producer, says, we had to get a check from those guys.
So you guys made that idea first?
Oh yeah. Before Independence Day, so we're like, they owe us money. Those guys.
10%. They owe you 10%, right?
I think so. So, but the other half of the time I'm like getting stuff from Jim Cameron movies and this and that. For example, there's a Metallic Cats episode where their bodies get blown up and they grow little spider legs and they're running around as little heads. And there's a John Carpenter's The Thing, which is a movie that came out in the 80s, and there's a head with grows spider legs and is running around. I thought that was a cool image, you know. So, you know, we call it inspiration or homage or rip off or whatever, you know. But we're riffing on all these comic things, and these action things.